Hi, I'm Kristi Nedderman with the City of Dallas Municipal Archives. In celebration of Women's History Month, I'm speaking with a number of women leaders in Dallas who are sharing their stories of trailblazing and helping to transform our community with their dedicated service.
Hi, I'm Tegwin Pulley, and right now I'm a consultant and I work with the National Alliance for Partnerships and Equity. We work with educators to create equitable learning environments where every student can thrive.
Fantastic. Well, can you describe the climate in Dallas for women in business, civic, and cultural life at the time the summit was founded?
Women in any kind of leadership position were an oddity. So we were all like the first to do anything in any of those roles in the community, in politics, in business, in education, anywhere.
All right. Well, can you tell us, please, about your journey as a trailblazer in Dallas and in your field of leadership?
So when I came to Dallas, women could not get credit in their own name. It was not until 1973, or up until 1973, job opportunities were sex segregated. So it was jobs for women, it was jobs for men. So really, the expectations were to get married and have somebody else take care of you. That wasn't something I wanted to do at that point, and so the the climate was not really friendly to women in business. So I looked at what was happening, and it just didn't make sense to me. And so I began my journey to understand why society's expectations of women were so different than they were for men. Mm. So at that point, I got very active in women's issues and was, very fortunate to find a wonderful group of women across the city. And what happened was that turned out to be wonderful for me for the rest of, has continued to be wonderful for me throughout my life, because we've all ended up doing interesting things. And, so we all have that network, and that's part of what got the summit started in the first place.
All right. So what advice would you give to young women leaders in Dallas today?
So my advice is to build a network of support, and by that I mean mutual support, and start by helping others before you ask them to help you. Think, seriously about what you want to do and why and what's really important to you. And once you kind of have that figured out, just get a lot of feedback. Ask a lot of people for input and listen very carefully to it. I've always found that, feedback is not always easy for people to take and absorb, because very often you think, that's not me, that's what? Why do you think that? But finding out what other people think and thinking through it, I think, is extremely important. Then I would also say, as you're moving through your career, try very carefully to never make assumptions about what you think other people are thinking or what they think of you or anything like that. If you want to know, ask, but don't assume whether somebody's interested in promoting you. Ask. And then just, be true to yourself and have integrity and have a good time. Maintain your sense of humor.